What's up guys, Burden here from AddictGaming.com, and today I'm going to bring you a walkthrough of the story mode of Ascalonian Catacombs. Basically, the reason I'm doing it now is because I'm leveling a new character, so I figured as I'm doing the dungeons while I'm leveling this character, I can bring you guys the walkthroughs and the guides and write it up on the site as well. So you can find the written version on AddictGaming.com, and then I'll just do a quick video explaining some of the boss fights and things like that. So make sure to check out the site for a more kind of in-depth walkthrough of the dungeon. Okay, so anyway, Ascalonian Catacombs is a level 30 uh, dungeon. It's the first story dungeon in the game, and when you first enter into the dungeon, you're gonna meet Ridlock Brimstone. He's gonna set the story up for you. I'm not gonna try to ruin too much of the story while I'm telling this. Basically, I don't want to put any spoilers in here just in case you haven't experienced it yet. So when you go to the first room, you're gonna find a room full of coffins. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, it's kind of like Zul'Farrak when when you can open up the coffins and kill some of those zombies coming out. Anyway, you want to open up the coffins and kill these ghosts or spiders, whatever come out, one by one, and then after you open up enough, an Ascalonian captain's gonna come out. He'll have two ads with him as well. You could kill the ads and then just kill the Ascalonian captain. Remember, he'll have some knockdowns and some knockbacks, but that's really about it. It's pretty basic. So you just kill him, and then the door is gonna open up to the next area. So when you go through the door to the next area, there's gonna be two ghosts waiting for you, and there's gonna be a couple of traps. And this is kind of like an introduction to what's really repetitive in a way in this dungeon is that there are a lot of traps and things like that trying to kill you other than just the ghosts. So when you go into that room, if you check the left side of the wall, there's gonna be some chains you can pull. And when you pull those chains, it's gonna deactivate the traps, and it makes killing the ghosts much easier. And there's a lot of rooms in this dungeon that are like that, so always look out for the chains. So once you go through that room, you're gonna head up a hallway. You're gonna have to kill some more ghosts. And then you're gonna find a staircase to your left. There's gonna be two rangers and a warrior. Try to kill the warrior first and then focus on the rangers. And once you get up to the top of the stairway, you're gonna see a really big room full of a ton of traps. And the way to deactivate these again is by pulling a chain, which is on the other side of the room. So when you get to the other side of the room and you pull the chains, or when you try to pull the chains, then another Ascalonian captain's gonna appear. And she's gonna be trying to knock you down and things like that. So try to get the chains pulled. It'll clear the room with the traps, then you can have your teammates and stuff like that run in, and it's not gonna be a problem. So after you kill her, make sure to grab a boulder. You're gonna need a boulder. Run downstairs. There's gonna be a pressure plate. Stand on the pressure plate and drop the boulder. Then it's gonna open up a gate to the next room. And the next room's gonna have a bunch of more traps basically. So you're gonna have two different types of traps. You're gonna have traps on the doorway, and they're gonna try to every time you go through a doorway, they're gonna try to set you on fire. And then you're gonna have fire turrets all over the walls that are gonna shoot little fireballs at you. You can deactivate the ones on the doorways. If you go down the stairs into the room and then take a left up the stairs, there will be chains there that you can pull, and that will deactivate the traps on the doorways. And those are the ones that do a lot of damage. Some groups like to stay back and kill all the flame turrets on the walls, just because if you have to run through that area again, it'll be a lot easier. But some people will just run through. So anyway, you run through, and then you're gonna go up a ramp, and you're gonna find Galkin, and she's actually fighting with the Ascalonian captain. So you help her out and kill the Ascalonian captain, and then she's gonna lead you through the next part of the story. And you're gonna head to the middle platform in this big room, and this is kind of the middle area where the whole dungeon takes place. From here, there's different paths you can take to each one of the bosses. So there's gonna be another Ascalonian captain in this area with 15 ghost minions. Now the ghost minions are very easy to kill, so just go around killing the ghost minions first, and then focus on the captain. And it's kind of like the same thing as all the other captains have been. So after that's done, don't forget to get your chest, and then you're gonna head west, and then you're gonna meet your first boss, which is Master Ranger Nente. And what he does is he stands on this pillar in the middle of a room, and there's a ledge around half of the room that the ranged DPS can stand on. So if you're a ranged DPS, stand on the ledge. Just make sure that you spread out, because when he attacks with his ranged He does do some AoE damage, so you don't want multiple people taking damage just from one of his attacks. So make sure you spread out. And then melee, you can go onto, there's a little wooden platform that'll go up to his pillar, and you can attack him in melee from there. Now he has a wolf that will attack you as well. But one way to stop the wolf is there are many boulders laying around. You can pick up a boulder and throw it at the wolf, or you can pick up a boulder and even throw it at Master Rage or Nente if you want. And after a little while, he's gonna stop attacking range, and then he's going to teleport over to the ledge and start attacking in melee. And he'll do this for a little while, and then he'll teleport back to the pillar and start attacking in ranged again. So it's basically a rinse and repeat until he dies, and then you're gonna have to kill the wolf after he dies as well. So grab your chest, and then you're gonna head on the east side of the middle area. And there's two ways you could take. You could either take the boss to the north or the boss to the south. The boss to the south are the lovers, Relena and Vesar. Basically, it's a mechanic we've seen in many games where you have to keep the bosses away from each other. If the bosses are close to each other, they're going to become more powerful. So really all you need is one person to just designate one person to pick up boulders and throw it at one of the bosses to knock them back, so they keep knocking the bosses away from each other. Usually what my groups do are we focus down the guy, and then we have a person using the boulders knocking back the girl the whole time. And then if they're you'll see that they have like big circles around them. As long as those circles aren't touching, the boss is really easy. But when the bosses are close, then this boss fight is really hard. So you have to make sure that someone's throwing boulders at these guys. And the guy will summon these little, I don't know what they're called, but these little pets, and they'll cast confusion on you. So make sure you're paying attention to your conditions, because if you have high stacks of confusion, you don't want to be spamming a lot of abilities, especially if like you're a thief or something like that, and you're spamming like your #1 dagger. If you're taking all that confusion damage, then that's gonna be bad. So just pay attention to that. Then the boss after that is Kesha Blackblood, and basically what she does is she summons minions that she'll sacrifice to heal herself, and then she'll do AoE conditioning. So all you really have to do is focus her down and make sure you don't stand in the AoE conditions. And when she summons a minion, just switch over to the minion, crowd control them, and focus them down, and then switch back to the boss. I mean, I've had groups before who didn't even attack the minion. We just focused on the boss, and then she died. So it's a really easy boss fight. There's not really too much explaining. Just make sure you stand out of the AoE conditions, and you'll be okay. Now from here, the story is going to continue, and you're going to head to the middle platform again, and that's where King Adalburn will be waiting for you. And pretty much it's like a distance fight. He can push you off of the ledge, and he'll also pull you close to him. So if he pulls you close to him, just make sure you dodge away. And then he'll also summon his powerful attack is he summons Foe Fire, which is like an elemental's meteor shower. It does a ton of damage, so if it hits you once or twice, then you're probably gonna go down, especially if you don't have the right dungeon gear. But other than that, that's all he really does. He just does the AoE, and then he'll push you and pull you around. Alright guys, this has been a quick walkthrough of Ascalonian Catacombs in story mode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's just a little something for newer players who are kind of nervous of going into dungeons, or if you need a refresher on the dungeon, then you could look at this. And remember, I'm gonna be releasing a new video for each dungeon that I'm doing while I'm leveling my thief, so I'll get around to every single dungeon. It's gonna take me a while, but I'm gonna work hard at it. So anyway, this has been Burden from AddictGaming.com. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have a comment or question, make sure to leave it below and I'll get back to you. And check out our site at AddictGaming.com. Thanks guys. A Venom Share build for the Thief. Now the basic idea of this build is that whenever I use a Venom skill,